Bonjour from Gatineau, Quebec, where I'm finishing up my holiday with Wolfie and Kitty. Kitty's gone out today for a run and then she's going shopping. Because we like to keep the dog with one of us because he hasn't been that well, but he is getting better. For the second time in my life I visited this war museum and it's fabulous. However, for the second time in my life I had camera issues. The first time I lost all the video and this time around the battery went flat on me. Kinda knew it was low but I ignored it. However, I did get most of the shots that I wanted for my invasion series. But also I got something else, something of vital importance that people don't have. A first aid kit. Now this is an Airbnb. It's supposed to have a first aid kit. It doesn't. However, I'm a prepper and an RN, so I have a really good comprehensive first aid kit in the car. But this was $10.99 plus tax, so I figured I'll buy it, let's have a look at it. I recommend Adventure Medical kits or something similar, something you're actually going to spend quite a considerable amount of money on, that's actually designed to be carried around in backpacks and to be abused. Because frankly, a lot of first aid kits that you buy at the dollar store and at Costco, they actually aren't very good. One of the principal problems with them is plastic bandages. Plastic bandages will absolutely fail within a couple of years stored. What happens is the glue all comes out of it and you can't really use them. If you're going to get bandages, and you should, get fabric ones and get the most expensive that you can get. Let's open this with my trusty Bear Grylls knife. Aesthetically it pleases me. This is the ingredients list. 4 bandages, 1 inch by 3 inch, 4 small bandages, 2 sport bandages, 1 knuckle bandage, 3 aseptic wipes, 2 sting relief wipes, 2 large safety pins, a small safety pin, and a sunscreen packet, often overlooked in first aid kits. Tiny little ones just for injections. These have absolutely no practical use whatsoever, so I will open this and show you what I mean. Pulls apart easily. Now when you open these, you'll find a lip. Use the lip please, don't just rip it open. The idea is you clean the wound as best you can and then you have the bandage. Now there's 2 sides to the bandage, there's the outside and the inside. So hold it by the outside and then you have this. So you pull this away, then you put it on and then you pull off the other side, trying to avoid touching the inside without the covering. Again, your hands, even if you've washed them, can be dirty. And septicemia is no joke and you can get it from almost anything, especially if you're malnourished. So there you go. That's an okay bandage. It works. I can guarantee within 3 or 4 years these bandages will lose their stickiness and not work so well. For plastic, these actually are quite high quality but get fabric. Oh, this is a tiny bandage so I didn't bother. And you can't really do it on this, but for most bandages, when you put them on, curl a side down, so when you come to take it off, it's easy, you don't have to pull skin or hair. And then just go, bing! Tiny little rectangular bandages, kind of good for skin closure. These aren't long enough. And 1 knuckle bandage. For me, I'd have removed all of the bandages and replaced them with knuckle bandages, but that's just me. Medicated relief from stings. This is actually something you should not neglect to have in your kits. If for no other reason, then these make great fire starters. The sunscreen lotion is actually fairly substantial. Kind of like that. There's quite a bit in this packet. I thought it'd be a smaller one. It's made in China, so you know the quality is bad. And yes, one of the ingredients is titanium. Again, try and avoid anything with titanium. Definitely don't ingest it, but if you put sunscreen on, it's going to get into your water supply. Not 1, not 2, but 3 antiseptic wipes. Very chunky, these wipes. Yeah, I guess. We like to sterilize ourselves. This is not the product I would use for it, but it's useful in a small kit. Last but not least are these. Now these are safety pins for those people who are too young to know what we used to use these for, which was to secure reusable nappies to small children and babies, which we probably should be doing given the fact of the amount of money plastic nappies cost and the waste that they produce. Now I don't have a triangular bandage. I broke my arm. I have a t-shirt. What really works is this, and then you use a safety pin to secure this at the top. And yes, you should be careful putting the safety pin in because it's quite easy to stick it into your flesh. These are quite blunt. As with most things first aid, you need to practice self first aid, i.e. doing first aid on yourself without help. So it's not really going in, and that would be a big problem for me. So I'm going to take it out and have a look at why. As you can see, trying to put it through thin t-shirt material has bent it. Poor quality metal. Has this in it as well. This is absolute uselessness. This is just multiple languages saying what's inside the kit. Tinder. Okay, some cautionary stuff for you. For those people who don't know, bandages and dressings, you should have a lot of dressings for grid down. If the package is dry and intact, you can use it and assume it's sterile. If the packaging is dry and intact but stained, assume it is not sterile. It still has uses, don't just throw it out. It's beyond its expiry date, don't throw it out. Use these as far as you can. There will be no waste in the wasteland. The tin might be useful for making charcloth, if in fact you make charcloth. There is in fact a method of using a type of charcloth that doesn't involve actually burning linen, and one day I'm going to show people it. This is going to come apart easily in a kit. If I was carrying this in a kit, I would secure it with rubber bands on both sides. So as a professional RN and a bit of a semi-professional prepper, I rate this to be a C-. It's not terrible, it's not that useful, and I don't think it's worth carrying at all. The most important item to carry in a first aid kit, and if you don't carry a first aid kit, carry this item everywhere you go, including urban hikes, is an ace or a tensor bandage, preferably the best quality you can get. The thin ones that are white, utterly rubbish. You need to get a strong one with elastication in it. These can be washed, they can be reused, and you'll have to apply them tighter and tighter, but they're absolutely vital. If you twist your ankle or even hurt your arm, these things immobilize it enough for you to probably get out and get help. The other item I always carry is toilet paper. Usually I carry wet wipes. I can use them as fire tinder, but they're absolutely vital for cleanliness when you're outside, and they're brilliant for cleaning wounds with, and they're also great for using as a toilet roll. Well, that's it from Gatineau from Huples Cat. If you're carrying kits like this, open them up and have a look at them. You can actually buy medical supplies and actually make your own kits using fabric bandages, eye patches, and triangular bandages, and all sorts of wonderful things. Before I go, a lot of people carry medications with them. I generally do not, unless I'm on a multi-day hike. So in a bug out situation I might. I would carry my blood pressure medication, and I would carry some Tylenol. That's about all I would carry. I don't carry antibiotics, I don't carry heavy duty painkillers. They're at the home base. Depending on what I'm doing, if I was say going to be travelling for 5 weeks in grid down, I would definitely be carrying items like that with me. Toodles, be safe, be prepped. Use the preps, look at the preps, think about the preps. Grid down will be an entirely different experience from hiking in Gatineau for a month. Doodles! This has been a 2023 Wolfie Terrier in Gatineau production.